There are a lot of ways to attack enemies in Fallout number 4. Stabbing, shooting, explosives, the list goes on and on. But one way has always stayed the same throughout the series: V.A.T.S. Can you beat Fallout 4 only using V.A.T.S? Allow me to explain the rules of this challenge. I can only attack things using V.A.T.S. I can still shoot guns and whip a wrench around at Mach 6. But if I were to do those things and an enemy or an ally were to be hurt by that, I fail the challenge. For example, if I shoot a car and it explodes, I don't fail the challenge because cars aren't real. But if I make a car explode and that explosion hurts, say, a two-headed cow, I fail the challenge because two-headed cows are real. Now that we're all on the same page, time for some coffee. And I wake up in the vault. Yeah, I had a mod installed that skips the opening of the game. If you don't like that, don't forget to smash the dislike button. On to character creation. I named myself Vacuum Cleaner because I clean up the trash, only using V.A.T.S. Because this is a V.A.T.S only playthrough, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Made my luck 7 so I could get the Idiot Savant, Critical Banker, and better critical perks. Also made my intelligence 7 because I forgot I wanted the Idiot Savant perk. Made my agility 5 so I wouldn't have to wait 3 hours just to make 2 shots. Put 3 points into endurance so I could sprint without too much of a detriment to my AP. Made my perception 3 so I would only miss my shots about 100% of the time. Made my strength 2 so my arms aren't noodles if I run out of ammo. And a charisma of 1 because it's opposite day on this episode of Fallout 4. Leaving the vault isn't hard. Grab the wooden sword, grab Gex 3, and kill all the roaches. Just make sure to hit Q beforehand so you don't need to reload a save and experience the Bethesda special. Get the Pip-Boy, leave Vault 111, enter Sanctuary, ignore the robot, go into your old home and put a point into Perception and start ripping it apart. Duplicate the wood and start building paintings to get to level 5. I put the points into Idiot Savant, Mysterious Stranger, Critical Banker, and Action Boy perks, all level 1 according to what you can see on screen. Now that we're out of the vault, we can ignore the mud and go to Concord. Kill the now irrelevant pillagers. Seriously, 1.15 was 4 years ago. Get with the times, Bethesda. Grab a battery, save a bobblehead, and become 60 as Iron Man, and go to Sanctuary to upgrade your shotgun. Go talk to the 60-second sillies, grab what every American toddler gets for their 4th birthday, and use it on the inhabitants of Sesame Street. Look, even Kermit showed up. I removed his thinking sphere, so he couldn't think about never telling Gonzo where he's from. I talked to the Funny Settlement Man, went to Sanctuary, talked to the Funny Settlement Man again, and made my way to the police station. Yeah, I don't have footage of me actually going there, or taking out the ghouls because OBS sucks, or I fucked up in post and lost it. Probably the second one. Anyway, off with Dance Dark Jet. And hey, I leveled up. Put the point into the Life Giver perk and entered Dark Jet. Destroyed the Flood Nest, activated Baby's first Halo ring, saved Cortana, and... wait, this is my Fallout video. Damn it! Anyway, I got the Righteous Authority, which fills the crit meter faster and deals double crit damage. Very useful in combination with another weapon. Afterwards, I went to Diamond City to get a comic book and to complete the Jewel of the Commonwealth quest. Having leveled up some time ago, I decided to put a point into the sneak perk because I thought it would help me with fighting the Triggermen. After seeing a murder, I decided to take my mind off things and buy some groceries. Gotta make sure my guns are fed with bullets so they can feel the joy of being fed and feed the Triggermen. Too bad guns don't understand humans don't eat bullets. After wiping out the rest of Skinny Baloney's goons, I saved a bobblehead, and an even bigger bobblehead who thinks his name is Nick Valentine. And then I went to wipe out the rest of Skinny Bacon's goons, and finally ran into the big meat man himself, Skinny Pepperoni. But my guns got in the way by trying to show their gratitude by trying to feed Skinny Sausage some bullets. And then sat through one of the longest loading screens of all time, even for a Bethesda game. Seriously, it took Fallout 4 1 minute and 24 seconds to load Concord, and we think Bethesda can manage to make Elder Scrolls 6. Anyway, after missing the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to speak with the one and only Skinny Baby Back Ribs, I went to Diamond City to talk to the Metal Man, had the interview with him, went to the Cereal Man's house in hopes that he would give us some free cereal, but he locked his doors, so we were going to have to steal some cereal. I bribed the Geneva suggestion into giving me the key to Cereal's house, but he wasn't there. He was at his cereal castle, so I had to get the help of Dogmeat to find King Cereal's castle. When I finally got there, I leveled up and put another point into the idiot spawn perk, got inside Fort Hagen and destroyed all the heavy metal fans. Then I came face to face with King Cereal himself, Kellogg, and gave him the Kermit treatment, and I just beat the game. Yeah, the refill of AP on a crit with the Righteous Authority's increased crit build, it basically means I never have to stop attacking, provided I don't run out of ammo. After inviting myself into King Cereal's Neuron house, I get to witness the glorified glory of the Brotherhood of Steel. And we're back at Diamond City to talk to Professor Mercury and the Redcoat reporter about brains and memories and something about teleportation? I don't really know. Either way, it's off to Virgil's cave, and here we are. Yeah, I just make a beeline every time, I don't care. We chatted about this and that, got real down to earth with the spirit of the mushroom. But I'm not prepared to get the spirit of the mushroom from some metalhead. I need another head made of metal inside of some metal. That's right, I'm siding with the Brotherhood. Why? Because I almost never do it. And after this playthrough, not only will I be reminded why, but I will also never be siding with them again. And we're up in the sky. I can't activate V.A.T.S here, so I can't attack here. Wait, why am I even talking about that? And we're on Maxon's flying over compensator. Time to meet the people who make it the fourth part. This story requires you not to be removed via console commands, which is why I didn't finish my test run of this playthrough one. The useful one, the kind of useful one, and the time wasters. Yeah, remember that part about needing Dance for green tech? Well, I got a little sidetracked. I don't even remember if I brought him along with me. Well, actually I do, but I won't tell you. You haven't earned that knowledge yet. And I killed a big ugly meanie, met up with Dance, and went to green tech to fight with the other stoners wanting to harness the spirit of the mushroom. When I met the metal man, I noticed something was wrong. He wasn't truly one with the spirit. So I used a mushroom cloud to send this faker to the spirit of the mushroom. Grabbed the spirit of the mushroom and went to talk to Dalkter Amari because I thought she gave the quest marker to the Old North Church. When I realized she doesn't, I went on a killing spree. Reloaded a save, and along the way to the church, I fought some puppies and hit the ground hard, potentially damaging anything outside V.A.T.S. And just to be safe, I reloaded a save, just to be safe. I fought the puppies again and killed some people who raid. And finally made it to the Old North Church and killed Desdemona and Thomas the Neuron Engine to understand the spirit of the mushroom in peace. I don't remember if I killed Pam, and I don't think you remember either, so let's move on. I finally understood what the spirit of the mushroom does, but it's in a language only higher beings are meant to understand. So I took it to Virgil and he rambled on about radio waves and relay dishes. So I left him because he must have been tired in his old age and talked to Maxon to build it. He said something about red hair paralysis, so I assumed he was talking about red hair paralysis lady. Turns out I was right. We need to build a home plate for the baseball game and a satellite dish to attempt successful communication to Mothership Zeta. And I needed some magnets and scanners. I think I got the magnet through trading, though I can't find the footage for it. And I really tried finding the scanner through trading. When I couldn't, I went to Sanctuary to try and find one, and couldn't find one. And in my refusal to go to the military installation, I went out to look for a biometric scanner in the wasteland, and ended up right in the military installation. Along the way, I killed some rad scorpions, leveled up, and upgraded the Moist Critical Banker perk. Anyway, I Sly Coopered the biometric scanner, and went back to Ingram. Built some engines and hooked it all up. For some reason, I never recorded me building the rest of the teleportationator that will help me take over the tri-state area. So here we are. Before I went into the institution for the mentally gifted, Mr. Elder said we needed Madison Lee from Fallout 3 as a cameo character in Fallout 4, and that I'm supposed to know what that means. Heading into the institute, this is where things get buggy. Because it's basically a super long cutscene you can button mash through, I sped up the game. But that seemed to break it. I couldn't interact with Sean even after returning the game to its default speed, meaning Father can't come through the door. Also, yeah, this is my first time actually doing this. I reached my wit's end and I was done waiting, but I never expected this. And trust me, by the end of the Institute section, you'll have more than enough confusion to make a whole Unsolved Mysteries episode about this alone. So I disabled the door, and that kind of broke the game even more. And I killed Father. I still had to be sneaky about it, and still did it in V.A.T.S. And I was going to kill him anyway, so I don't think I was cheating. I just had to use workarounds to continue because I'm a dumbass. Anyway, I talked to Madison Lee about the super mutants at the Mariposa military base, but she said she was on the Master's side, so I had to get evidence that the Master was dead. Remember when I said the game went a little buggy? Yeah, this is that. The lasers blocking you from entering the FEV labs weren't there, so being an opportunist, I just waltzed right in, grabbed the Fallout 1 walkthrough, and showed it to Lee. She was convinced that the Master, who has been dead for a long time, wasn't the right path. I talked to Max and told him I successfully brainwashed the scientist. He said something, I wasn't listening. I was too focused on his shiny helmet. He used V.A.T.S to get into the useful one's cage and stole everything. Used V.A.T.S on a scribe to get out, and sold everything I didn't need. Put on the party hat, talked to Ingram and Lee. They told me I needed some joints for the Statue of Liberty because according to Ingram right now, he looks more like Ingram than the future of America. Although that isn't true, I still went and bought the magnets, and I keyed the hell out of some robot joints because Todd told me to. And okay, yeah, this is why I don't like the Brotherhood of Steel. Because they send you out in the glowing sea. It's so boring. You can just run past anything you don't want to fight, especially in power armor. Anyway, I talked to Princess Haywire and made it to the nuke pyramid. It's so cool that Bethesda put Nuketown from COD in a Fallout game. It's about time, honestly. And I had an aneurysm from Dogmeat walking through the door, so I left him because Dogmeat is clearly too powerful for this dimension. But I realized if I had a god's autograph, it would be worth a lot of septims. So I went back to get Dogmeat's autograph. When I found him, I realized he didn't have hands, so he couldn't write down his autograph for me. Yeah, so talking to the... Sorry, I meant after brutally murdering the Radiation Man and Nick's wife, I got access to the Fallout files and went back to Ingram. She says there's a problem with Dance, and that he's a synth, and I need to kill him for lying to the Master. When I got to the Temple of Trials, I found that the suit of the Holy 13 was gone, meaning Dance had to have stolen it, so I killed him for his crimes against Arroyo. But he didn't have anything regarding the Holy 13. So this was all for nothing. Returning to the village elder, she says we need to take out the weird people with train personas. God, what would a furry train even look like? Wait, I shouldn't give people ideas. This actually kind of confused me because I thought I already took them out, but I just needed to make sure the toy soldiers made sure I killed them. Along the way, I put a point into the toughness perk and a point into agility. Returning to Ingram, she says there's a new problem. We need to build something called the Beryllium Agitator to power up the Elder Scrolls so Master Chief can locate the source of Argent energy so he can power the Statue of Liberty to launch the nukes. And this is where things get difficult. You can't activate V.A.T.S well on a Vertibird for some reason, and there's no way to exit the Vertibird without taking out all the synths, so I'm basically stuck here. Yeah, I lied. After starting to fight the synths outside of V.A.T.S, the Vertibird actually took so much damage it landed, allowing me to attack in V.A.T.S. So I reloaded a save, and if you take enough bullets like a good Thanksgiving turkey, the bird will land and you can attack in V.A.T.S. The synths don't pose too much of a threat. What is a problem is American ingenuity, and not having any ammo for your pet revolver that you got from Uncle Kellogg to fight off the sentry bots and assaultrons. But thanks to the authority for being righteous, I was able to whittle his, that's right, the sentry bot is a guy, health down so I can finish him off with a shotgun. The assaultrons met a similar fate. Going down the elevator, I helped the toy soldiers defend against the Institute's pawns. Put a point into agility, went to Ingram. She said the Master Chief was a no-show because his mom said no, and the Elder Scroll was already taken by Crash Bandicoot. So we weren't going to find the source of Argent energy until Doom Guy shows up for us, so we had to use the agitator itself to power the Statue of Liberty. Because I already took my morning jog, I just Disney fast-played myself to the CIT ruins, where the toy soldiers were fighting the androids, and one of them had put on their Nickelodeon moon shoes. When the primary Liberty showed up, I deleted him because I thought it would be funny. The game didn't think so, so Todd Howard made me reload a save. Like this was Morrowind or something. So I reloaded a save, and then HAL 9000 blasted the earth, and Dogmeat was unfazed, though this is unsurprising considering the stuff he pulled at Nuketown. After Dogmeat's show of power, I entered Todd Howard's private bunker for some revenge. But Todd Howard saw me coming all the way back in Arroyo, so he didn't load the entrance until a few seconds after I'd already fallen into the hole, forcing me to console command my way out. Finally entered the funny Bethesda man's private bunker, and a man who looked like he had battled the Deathclaw at 12 and somehow survived said said, "What? He said something about blowing up the Institute, and every McDonald's manager came to stop us, but they were no match for the vacuum cleaner. This part wasn't exactly hard, it just takes longer because you have to do it in VATS instead of just mowing everything down in your path. A legendary synth dropped a submachine gun enchanted with a blowfly soul. I didn't use it at any point, so I don't know why I'm mentioning it. I continued with my rampage. Speaking of rampage, I killed George. Got bored and started killing those the game made me think are my allies, but no matter how many I killed, the game wouldn't believe they're my enemies. Going into Father's room, I saw he was doing something, so I shot him in the chest and he came back to reality. I accessed his terminal and shut off Mr. House's security protocols. Killed even more synths, you know the drill. Placed that drill on a nuclear reactor to ensure something funny would happen when I left. When that drill drilled into the soul of the nuclear reactor like mad cow disease, the reactor blew up, beating Fallout 4 only using VATS. Fallout 4 only using VATS is not hard, just longer than it should have been. It only took me about 7 hours, a normal playthrough only takes me about 4. But that's only because I can't use grenades. The only real challenge is with Kellogg and the Green Tech Courser. Otherwise, it's just kinda boring. Except for the few times I get to see funny ragdolls in slow motion. Subscribe if you want to, otherwise take care.